Hello, first years. Welcome to our 8th week of Music on Brio online. I can't believe it's been so long since we've gotten to see each other, and I miss you so much. Also, this is our last week of group class videos. You will have one more week of Zoom lessons next week, and a couple of you might have a makeup lesson. But for the most part, Music on Brio is almost done for spring 2020. So we've missed seeing you. We can't wait to see you again soon. But in the meantime, we have some fun things to work on today. I have a new game I'd like to teach you called Shoulder Taps and Peg Knockers. And we're going to do some work on Seesaw, which will actually be our first song using our fingers on the left hand. Very exciting. So you may remember 2 weeks ago, the video I made you, we talked about magic X's and elevators. And I just want to remind you briefly that your magic X's, mine are invisible right now. You can draw yours back on if you want. They should be at the base of your first finger and at the knuckle of your thumb. So they're approximately across from each other. And when you hold the violin up, you want to make sure that your magic X's are touching on the sides of the neck. You don't hold the violin with your magic X's. That's simply where you touch the violin. Remember also that when you elevator, down is toward the scroll and up is toward the bridge. So down and up. Let's do some elevators in rest position. Find your magic X's, touch and touch. Double check your rabbit hole. Remember that's this space right here, which should not be touching the violin. And make sure that your wrist is nice and flat. And we will elevator down to the scroll and up to the shoulder. Down to the scroll and up to the shoulder. Down to the scroll and up to the shoulder. Great job. Let's go to umbrella position and stand up nice and tall in rest position. And we're going to do a couple of elevators in playing position. So you will step your feet out and go to part 1. Turn the violin upside down for part 2. Button on your neck for part 3. Let go for part 4. And then you will find your magic X's. Elevator down and up. Down and up. Down and up. And come all the way back to umbrella position. Down into part 2. Part 1. Rest position. Close your feet and take a nice bow. Beautiful, everybody. All right, so I want you to stay in rest position for a moment, and I want to show you our new game called Shoulder Taps and Peg Knockers. Remember, the shoulders of the violin are right here, and the pegs are down here. So this is how you play. Just watch. Don't do it yet. Just watch. You should still be in rest position right now. I'm going to reach my middle finger all the way to the back shoulder, and I'm going to tap one time. I'm going to come down to part 4, find my magic X's, elevator down to first position. Then I'm going to take my magic X from my first finger off and lightly knock the peg. Very lightly, very gentle. I elevator back up. I come back around into umbrella position, and I tap twice. 1, 2. Down into my magic X's, elevator down to first position, and I'm going to gently knock. 1, 2. And I go back up and so forth. Your goal in this game is to make it as many times as your age, okay? Now, I will say we usually go ahead and stop at 10, so I don't have to do as many as my age. That would be a lot. But for those of you who are 7 or 8 or 9, I'd like you to try and do as many of these as your age. So right now, let's try to do 7, okay? We'll shoot for 7. So, again, start a nice rest position. You're going to step out. Part 2, part 3, part 4. And we start way up. 1 tap. Magic X's, elevator, 1 knock. Magic X's, elevator, 1, 2. Magic X's, elevator, 1, 2. Elevator up, 1, 2, 3. Don't forget your rabbit hole. 1, 2, 3. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to hold with your chin and shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Go back to umbrella position. Come down into part 2. Part 1. Rest position. Take a bow. Now, friends, remember, it's always more important for you to be safe and for your violin to be safe than for you to do whatever it is we're working on. So if you can't make it all the way to 7 yet, that is okay. Go as far as you can, and then go back up into umbrella position. Take a break. If you need to take a bigger break, go ahead and go back to rest position. Totally fine. You can then go back up and start again where you were. You can start again at the beginning. It's completely up to you. Things I want you to watch out for are really good violin hold with your chin and shoulder. Make sure you're breathing. Stand up very tall like a giraffe. And make sure you slide up and down the neck on your magic X's with a flat wrist and a nice rabbit hole. All right, take a nice deep breath. It's time for us to talk about seesaw. If you need to take a longer break, please feel free to pause this video and come back in a couple of minutes, or maybe later today or even tomorrow. But when you're ready, let's go ahead and talk about seesaw. In rest position, I want you now to actually hold the violin more in front of you. We call this guitar position. So you get to guitar position by going to rest position and then just pulling the violin in front of your belly. You might want to sit down crisscross applesauce on the floor to do this. You could also try sitting in a chair. Just make sure that you're not leaning back in the chair and sitting up nice and tall. Grab the fingerboard with your bow hand, which is your right hand. And you can hug the chin rest so that your left hand, your violin hand, is free to find your magic X's, do some elevators, and elevator down to first position. Remember, my friends, first position is at the bottom of the fingerboard, right next to the scroll. Now, you should all have finger tapes on your violins, and the bottom one, the one closest to the scroll, is finger tape number 1, and that's the only finger tape we're going to use in this song. So I want you to practice making your first finger, that's your pointer finger or your index finger, this one. I want you to practice making a nice tunnel with your first finger. So watch. Here's my first finger, and I'm going to make a nice tunnel with it. Now, you don't do this, but I'm just going to show you. See how I say that it's a tunnel because there's a space under my first finger. Also, my fingernail is facing forward toward the bridge, okay? So it's not like this, and parents, you probably will want to help out with this. It's not like this. It's not like you were really playing the guitar. We do call this guitar position, but it's not like actually playing the guitar, okay? We have our magic X's, and we make a nice tunnel so that our fingernail is facing the bridge. And we lift up, and then again. And we lift up. Now try making your tunnel onto the D string. And lift up, and now the G string. Okay. Let's try plucking the note 1 on A, which is, by the way, named B. So make your nice tunnel and make sure your fingernail's facing the bridge. You've got nice magic X's, a good rabbit hole, and a flat wrist. And we pluck the note B. Very nice. Pluck it again. B. Lift up your tunnel and pluck A. Put down your tunnel again and pluck B. If your B doesn't sound the same as my B, check and see if your finger is right on the finger tape. If it is, and it still sounds really different, make sure your A is the same as my A. If your A sounds very different than my A, your violin is out of tune, and you should email or call your teacher for instructions on how to get your violin tuned, okay? Otherwise, make sure your A is the same as mine, and then your B should also be the same as mine. Very nice. Okay, now let's try this on the D. Pluck open D, and make your nice tunnel. Again, friends, make sure that your tunnel is tall. There's a lot of space underneath that first finger. See, it's not like that. That's a collapsed tunnel. It's a nice tall tunnel. And your fingernail is facing as close to the bridge as possible. Okay, so 1 on the D is the note E. So pluck D and pluck E. Very nice, everybody. All right, now on the G string, pluck open G, make your tunnel. The note, first finger on the G string is A. Open G and A. Great job, everybody. Take a moment, and I want you to set your violin down in a safe place. We are going to do a little bit of singing. Now, this song, Seesaw, is in a pattern, and that pattern is going to happen on different sets of strings, okay? So we have our 2 highest strings. What are our 2 highest strings? What's the very highest string on the violin? Yeah, it's the E string, okay? And what's right next to E? Yep, it's the A string. So the 2 highest strings are E and A. E is the very highest, and then A. A is lower than E, but they're both high strings, okay? Then we have the middle 2 strings. So A is actually a middle string, and then next to it is D. So of the middle 2 strings, A is higher and D is lower. Then we have the low 2 strings, D, which is now going to be the higher string, and G, okay? So the high strings, E is higher, A is lower. The middle strings, A is higher, D is lower. The low strings, D is higher, and G is lower. To be clear, from highest to lowest, the 4 strings on the violin are E is the highest, and then A is a little lower, D is lower yet, and then G is the lowest. I'm telling you that because the pattern goes like this. High, low, high, low. 1 on the lower string, low, low. Notice I'm tapping. Did you notice how many taps each longer note got? Let's listen. High, low, high, low. Did you notice? It was 3. High, low, high, low. And then 1 on the lower string. What that means is you are going to play 6 bows with your first finger on the lower string, okay? So let's sing the whole pattern together, and then I'm going to ask you to sing it while I actually play it so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? So let's sing it together. Ready, set, go. High, low, high, low. 1 on the lower string, low, low. Great. All right. You are going to sing again, but I am going to play this on the E and A string. When I'm using E and A, E is high and A is low. So 1 on the lower string means I have to put 1 on the A string. I get my bow hold set up, step out. Now, when we play with our left hand, we have to first find our magic X's, slide down into first position. I'm not using any fingers yet, so I'm just going to keep them ready, but when it's time, I'm going to curve my first finger down to make a beautiful tall tunnel on the A string, again, with my fingernail facing my face. So you sing, I'll try to sing with you. Ready, set, go. High, low, high, low. Now I put my 1 down in a beautiful tall tunnel on the first finger tape on the A string, and I play 6 bows. 1 on the lower string, and now I lift that up and I play open A. Low, low, and then you do it again. High, low, high, low. 1 on the you're done playing, you slide back up and bring your violin down as always. And you can take a nice bow. Now that time, of course, you all were supposed to just be singing with me. And actually the next step before playing is going to be plucking and singing. So you can grab your violins again and get into guitar position. Go to rest position. And if you want to sit down, this is fine. And then you just pull the violin in front of your belly like this. Grab the fingerboard with your bow hand and hug the chin rest with your bow elbow. Left hand, your violin hand, you find your magic X's, slide down into first position, check your rabbit hole, check your nice flat wrist, and now we are going to pluck. So you will use your thumb to pluck, open E, high, now open A, low, E, A. Now you're going to curve that first finger into your beautiful tall tunnel on the A string. Make sure your first finger is on the first finger tape. That is the tape that is closest to the scroll. And that your fingernail is facing the bridge. And we will pluck 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can sing 1 on the lower string, which is 6 syllables. Let's try that. 1 on the lower string. And then you lift up your finger and you do open A again. Low, low. Let's try it without stopping. Ready, set, go. High, low, high, low. Get your first finger ready. 1 on the lower string. Low, low. Woo! Good job. Be a turtle. Be a giraffe. Take a nice deep breath. Now, friends, Seesaw is a really long song. So you do that whole pattern on E and A, and then you do all of it on E and A again. Then, in the real song, in the full song, you will do the pattern on A and D twice, and the pattern on D and G twice. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, that's a lot of playing. It's a very long song. And while you are learning and working on this song, I think that that is too much to try to do at one time. I'd like to ask you to first pluck and sing each section. So pluck and sing the part on E and A. Pluck and sing separately the part on A and D. And then as a third exercise, pluck and sing the part on D and G. Then later, when you're ready, when you're feeling rested and ready to go, you can try playing the part on E and A and just do the part on E and A. If you want to, you can do it twice, then take a little break. Then try playing the part on A and D. If you want to, you can do it twice, then take a little break, and then try playing the part on D and G. If you want to take a little break, great. If you want to play it twice, great. And then you can start putting those sections together, okay? It's very important that you do not try to power through and play when you are already too tired. If you are really tired and your violin is drooping and you got your wrist up and you're kind of playing like this, that means that you're not playing the violin very well. In fact, you easily could be hurting your wrist or hurting your neck, certainly getting into bad habits, okay? So it's very important that you practice this slowly and in small chunks so that you make sure that you are not overloading yourself. If you feel tired, take a break. That's totally fine. I would much rather you take a break than that you tire yourself out too much, okay? It has been an incredible pleasure working with you this year. I hope to welcome all of you back to Music on Brio either this summer or this fall. But in the meantime, let's take our nice bow for the end of our last group class video. Thank you so much for your great work, and I hope to see all of you soon. Bye for now.